Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a BH Cosmetics try on. I have never tried BH Cosmetics before, so I thought I'd pick some stuff up from Ulta. I've had this guy hanging around for a while. It is the BH Cosmetics Contour and Blush 6-color palette, and it looks like this. Inside, these pans are pretty big. Got a couple blushes in here that are crazy, but I've never used it before, so I thought I would base this on product that I've never used before that I have in my collection. But I also bought some other stuff. So I bought a foundation and a concealer by BH Cosmetics. I also bought the It's My Ray Ray palette, and when it came to me it was broken, but Ulta sent me a brand new one, so that was awesome of them. I also bought this BH Cosmetics Floral Blush Duo Cheek in this. I really kind of dig the colors in that. I think it's really pretty. And I got a brow pencil. The couple things that I didn't get from them were eyeliners and mascara, so I did pull in from my other stuff for those. So let's get started here. And the first, I did put on some primer. I also didn't pick up primer from BH Cosmetics. I used the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer in Radiance, and I kind of like that primer. I just have a deluxe sample size, but it's not like as silicone-y as the normal, as their regular like clear Photo Finish Primer. It's kind of tacky, which is a little strange, and it takes me a lot of that because it doesn't go on like a lotion. It actually sits on top of your skin, which I don't mind. I think it's fine. But that is the only thing I have on my face today besides the Dr. Brandt Needles No More Under Eye Depuffer. So the first thing I'm going to do is go in with this BH Cosmetics BH Liquid Foundation Naturally Flawless in the color 209 Ivory Beige. Now I did get all this online, so I'm not really certain of the colors. I'm just going with what I know I typically fall in, and this has a pump. That's nice. So I am going to, I typically use a brush for my foundation purposes. I am going to also use a sponge. So on one side of my face I'm going to use a brush, and on the other I'm going to use a sponge. So I'm just going to put a couple squirts on my hand here. Ooh, that's kind of thick. It's a real thick consistency. And go on my face with that. And I am using my brush for this side of the face, and I'll use my blender for the other side of the face, and we'll see how much we like. Yeah, you know what I mean. Initially, I think this is a pretty good color match. It has like a nondescript smell to it, but it's not like fragrancy. It's actually pretty clean smell to it. It's not bad. So just looking at it, I'm not sure I like it with a brush. I can see the brush strokes, so I'm gonna go in with a second layer just because I also don't feel like it covered very much. I'm not a full coverage girl, but like I feel like the coverage could be better. I mean, it's not horrible. I don't know if you guys can see, but I definitely can see the brush strokes. So I'm going to go in on the other side with my blender, and we're going to see how that one turns out. I'm going to go in a little at a time with this one because it does seem to dry down pretty fast. This is a wet Real Techniques Miracle. miracle sponge. I definitely think I like it better with a sponge. Seems a little more even with a sponge. I definitely, obviously, don't see brush strokes with a sponge. Coverage is about the same brush to sponge, so we're gonna just kind of go over some spots on this side with the sponge just to make both sides look the same. I typically use the Too Faced Peach Perfect Comfort Matte foundation. That is my go-to, my ride or die. It is pretty expensive. I mean, it's not as expensive as some, but it is a pretty expensive foundation. I've been trying to branch out into other foundations and drugstore options because they are inexpensive, and I don't really care for full coverage, so I think I could get away with a drugstore option that is decent. So alright, I'm gonna bring you guys in for a minute. Okay, so this is what it looks like on my face right now. I don't think it's bad coverage. I think it went on the skin beautifully with a sponge. So I would not suggest use of a brush with this foundation. Again, it is the BH Cosmetics foundation, Naturally Flawless, and it is in the color. For me, I went ahead and picked Ivory Beige, and I think it was a really good skin match to me. We'll see if it oxidizes at all. Next, we're going to go in with the BH Cosmetics Studio Pro Total Coverage Concealer, and I got this in shade 104. It was like the second to lightest, third to lightest, something like that. I'm going to zoom you guys back out. We're going to use it on my under eyes right here. Oh, I accidentally squirted some out. So we're just going to pull it off the container there. That is a strange container. Not a doe foot, which I really thought it was going to be a doe foot. This is not quite as light as I thought it was. So I'm just going to use the same blender sponge and blend that in. I wish it had like a doe foot. I'm so used to using a doe foot for concealer. I feel like I look super pale. That might have been too light. My chest is always red from like anxiety, but I feel like this face is kind of pale. That's okay. We'll bronze it up. So, in this It's My Ray Ray palette actually is a full face of everything. It's got bronzers, highlighters, contour in it. It's also got all of your eyeshadows in it. So it is a full face, but because I've got other products here from BH Cosmetics, I am going to use the darker shade in here for contour. And we'll see how that works. I am just going to take my little Wet n Wild brush here that is like not the best brush in the world. And I'm going to go into this dark shade right here and just kind of tap it off. It's not super powdery. I don't have a lot of kick up. And it's, ooh. That is super dark. I guess it could be worse. I'll go in with a bigger fluffy brush all over my face into the lighter shade, and hopefully it'll lighten it up, but I don't think it looks actually all that bad. Yeah. I don't typically contour my nose because I don't really see a reason to. Like, I don't mind my nose shape. That warmed that foundation up quite a bit. I rather actually like the contour. It started off really, really freaking dark. I thought, oh no, but actually it turned out pretty great. I kind of like it. So I'm gonna go in with a bigger fluffy brush into this lighter color and just kind of go under my eyes and all over my face just to set everything. I don't bake because, like, I'm old and I have pretty dry under eyes, and when I bake I look like I am 90 years old. So I just don't do it. Sorry, I'm kind of using the screen as a secondary mirror. I think it looks really good so far. So I'm going to go into this color here. This is the blush that I'm going to use, and again, this is the BH Floral Blush Duo Cheek color in Fuji Fun. And it's got, you know, a nice darker and lighter tone there. I'm just going to swirl my brush into both. There's not a lot of kick up. There is a lot of stuff. Make sure to tap off your brush. Let's see how pigmented this is. I'm a little terrified. So I just kind of dot it on my face where I want it to go first. And then I start blending. I find that dotting it on your face where you want it to go first takes a lot of the scariness of too much on your face all at once out. It's kind of a pretty blush. I don't mind it. It's got a little bit of a sheen to it, which is really pretty. So before I do my eyes, I always do my eyebrows, so I have like some kind of guide for my brow bone highlight. So I am going to use the Beach Studio Pro HD brow pencil, and I got it in the color auburn because it didn't have a medium brown. So if this is way too auburn, then I will go get my NYX ash brown and kind of go over the top of it too. I typically will use an auburn and an ash brown together just so that it matches my hair more. I'll be right back and have my brows done. So I put on this brow product in auburn. I'm not mad at it by any means. I do feel like it's a little, I don't know, I kind of rather like it. The only thing is right here where my hairs are pretty sparse, it does appear a little more orange than it could, so I would probably take like an ash brown to that. I'm not going to do that right now, but I don't mind the pencil. I think the pencil's nice. So now we're going to go into the It's My Ray Ray palette, and we are going to do some eyes. And now you guys can see that eyebrow a little better. I don't know. I also put some eye primer on. I use my Kat Von D Lock-It eyeshadow primer stick. I love that eyeshadow primer stick. I know how it performs very well. My eyes feel a little dry right now though, so moisten that up. Blend that in a little bit better. So the first shade I'm going to go into actually is this Nudist right here, and I'm just going to put that all over my lid and my eye to set the eyeshadow primer. So the next shade I'm going to go into is actually this brown right here. It is called Control Freak. That's perfect. A little bit of that brush. Well, It looks to be really pigmented. I mean, just right off the bat, it just went on there and it doesn't look like I'm gonna have to build it up very much to get a good shade out of that. It does appear to be like patchy right here, like it's just like sticking to my eye right there. It still is just like, I don't know what's going on right there. Maybe that's just my eye. Maybe my eye is just being weird. I'm gonna get a clean brush, just this guy. It's not really a blending brush, but it also went onto the lid a little more like rosy than I thought it was going to. Okay, we're gonna move on because maybe that'll look okay after we get all the colors on my eyes. Maybe. I'm gonna go in with an e.l.f. blending eye brush. Looks like this. It's kind of like dunce. And I'm gonna go into this like berry color right here. It's called Friday. And just tap into that and just focus that on the outer V and then into the crease. And pull that into my crease. It's really nicely pigmented. I'm going to go back into that Control Freak, that brown. I don't know, I think maybe my eye hates me today. I don't mind it though, it just kind of looks like I've been hit. Let's just continue. So I'm going to go into, with a different, softer blending eye brush, I'm going to go into this purple right here. It is called Connie. That's my aunt's name. And I'm just going to pack that on top of the purple. I mean, the red here. I don't think that that's bad. I think that actually is starting to come together rather well. I might go with this color. All over my lid is called Tiffany. I'm going to pack that all over the lid. I'm going to try it first without a spray. Ooh, lots of fallout, y'all. I do think, however, it's got really great pigmentation without spray. It's not bad. I kind of dig it. I am going to try it with spray though. I'm going to go back into that Connie color just to try and blend these two together a little bit better. I'm going to go into Allison and I'm just going to pop that into the very center of this eye look right here. Just to lighten that up just a little bit. Yeah, I rather like that. I think that turned out really well. Okay, so I am going to take, I think I would typically go into this into my brow bone, but I think I'm actually going to go into Allison into my brow bone just because I feel like Angel, which is this white one down here, might be way too light. So Alright, I'm gonna take this brush here, which is from Vintage Cosmetics. I'm gonna take a combination of these two colors, which is the Control Freak and the Friday that is on my eyes, and go under my eye with that. I am going to take some of this angel color into the inner corner. That's a little deceiving. It actually comes out a lot more gold on the eye than it is in the pan. In the pan it's very white, but I mean, I put it right here and it looks very gold. I don't mind it, it's pretty, but I might actually take it into my brow bone as well. I kind of like that. Okay guys, what I'm going to do is I am actually going to go off camera, do the other eye, put on my eyeliner and my mascara, and I will be right back to show you the final product and give you my final thoughts. Okay guys, this is the final look. You know, I'm not complaining. I think that this turned out really well. And even though I had a little bit of patchiness going on over here, like blending it out just a little bit better. I was, you know, kind of trying to make a video, so I didn't blend it as well as I could have at first. Blending it out just a little bit better made it pretty. I actually think that this is pretty. I'm not mad at the, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's, the foundation is a little bit weird. I'm not like awful weird, just weird enough that I'm just not sure about it yet. I want to try it out a little bit more to see if I really like it. I'm not a fan of the concealer, if I have to say. I think that it did a decent job of covering, but I have other concealers that do a much better job of covering those dark circles under my eyes than this one did. So I typically can work some magic, and that just didn't happen very much. I really dig this eyebrow pencil. I really actually think that if my eyebrows were, you know, awesome, this one is a little wonky today. Like, I'm not gonna complain about my face anymore. I'm not gonna do it. You are pretty, Donna. I like the eyebrow pencil. I don't think that it's any different than, say, the NYX or even the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I think that it actually has a better pigmentation than the Anastasia Brow Wiz, to be honest, and that is also why I use NYX, because I think that its color range is a little bit better and more suited to my hair. That's not saying that the Brow Wiz is awful, because it's not, but if you're not into a micro brow pencil, you're not going to like any of the ones that I just mentioned anyways, but I prefer a micro brow pencil, and I think that it did a really good job. I do not like how it turned out here, but I think that the hair right here for me is a little more sparse. I have giant brows, but the hair right there for me in particular is a little more sparse, so I could go in with like a ash brown and it would blend it just a little bit better. I really love this blush. I think it is a beautiful blush. I think that it doesn't have much of a sheen left to it, but I think it is a really pretty blush when you swirl your brush into the whole pan and use both colors together. I think it's beautiful. I didn't try them separately, so I think that I might try that at a later date. I think that these powders here, at least the two that I used, are beautiful. I love this dark brown, and even though it went on super pigmented, it actually looks really beautiful on my face. I don't feel like it is just on top of my face like a lot of like these kind of powders can sit just really on top of your face, and I don't really like that. So of this that I used, the two powders I used, I love them. I think that the lighter brown really, which is kind of coming off more cream in the camera, but it is really a lighter brown to this. I think that it helped the color of my face just kind of become one. Like, it helped this dark powder and the original color of the foundation just kind of become one and made it look really good. At first, when we were looking at just the foundation on my face, it looked completely different from my neck. I really thought it was a little too ivory, and now I don't know if it's the oxidation or the powders that I'm wearing, but I really feel like it matches really well. I put this highlighter, which is called Radiant, on my cheekbones, and then just went in with this one on top called Moonlight. I don't feel like this is the standout of the palette. Like, I don't know, the highlight is okay, but it's definitely more of a lit from within kind of highlight, even with the white one on top of it. Like, it doesn't really, it's not really like standing out to me as this amazing highlight, but also a little bit powdery to the extent that it shows a lot of my texture in there. Like, I know that you guys can't really tell as far away as you are, but maybe up close. It's a beautiful highlight, but up in here, it's more beautiful than it is down here, which is where the texture part is, which is where you kind of want your highlight to sit. These eye colors, while I struggled with them at first, it might have been just my crazy dry eyes right now. Like, my skin is super dry, so like, I'm not going to hold it against them. And it did turn out really nicely. I did struggle with it. I had to blend a lot, but I think these colors are beautiful. I think this eye look turned out beautifully. I just love this palette. So initially I got this palette because a friend of mine who also does YouTube, her channel name is Alize's Beauty. It's named after her baby, which I think is just adorable, and I love that name. She did a review of the It's My Ray Ray palette. I'd like to play more with it before I talk about whether it's good or not, but my initial use of BH Cosmetics, I'm not unhappy with anything I used. I could totally see using these products on a daily. Like I said, I want to play with it a little bit more before I give like my end all speak all on it, but I'm impressed. I'm pretty impressed with BH Cosmetics. I know that a lot of people have used BH Cosmetics before, but this is the first time I've used it, and I tend to steer very clear of like a drugstore type brand of makeup because tends to break out my face. I tend to have bigger issues than I had with them. So, but I decided to give BH a try, and I'm really pretty impressed. I really dig this makeup look. So I hope that you guys enjoyed my video today. I enjoyed trying out some BH Cosmetics, and I really hope that you'll want to give this video a like before you leave here, and that you'll think about subscribing to my channel. I do upload content 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or Sunday, depending on how my work week goes. But you're definitely getting content 3 times a week. I hope that you enjoyed it enough that you'll want to subscribe, stick around, and see me in my comment section and in my videos 3 times a week, because I love watching this little YouTube family of mine grow, and I'd love to have you along for this crazy midlife crisis ride of mine, I guess. Give me a shout out in the comment. Let me know what you liked and what you didn't like. Let me know what BH products you have and what you think I should try out, and I will see you next time, guys. Bye.